Hey there, how are you today? My name is Dana Damara. Thank you so much for subscribing to these free videos. I'm super excited to offer up some of this information as I know it to be true. And those of you who know me, you know that I am a major moon lover. And I get a lot of questions every single day. What's going on with the moon? What's happening here? How do I create an altar? How do I clean my energy? How do I do this? How do I do that? And so I have a few answers as I know them, and I would love to share them with you. So again, thank you so much for subscribing to these, and let's see how we go. So this first video is real simple. It's just, what are the moon cycles? What are the lunar cycles? What are they about? Why are they important? Why should I pay attention? And I'm just going to give you, again, the information as I know it. So I think one of the reasons why I'm really interested in the moon and the stars is I practice Hatha yoga. So Hatha, sun and moon, it's the energy that actually pulses within all of us. We may or may not recognize it or are conscious of it, but you know, the moon makes waves. The moon makes the waves. The moon does so much in our solar system, in our whole universe, and we are not really separate from the moon. And so what the moon's doing affects us on some level. And again, it's just a matter of if you're aware and if you're conscious of it or not. And so when we start to follow the lunar cycles, the cycles where the moon is sitting, what it's doing, what the other planets are doing, we can start to pulse with the moon. We can start to recognize our incongruencies. We can start to recognize where we're in alignment. And, you know, like a friend of mine, I like to call her a friend, a teacher, taught me from the very beginning, don't let this knowledge put you in a box, but do allow yourself to be aware of it. So as we become aware of the lunar cycles, we can pulse with it. So the moon travels, we have a lunar cycle 13 times a year, and it travels through all of the zodiac signs. And we have a new moon and a full moon. And in between that, there's waxing and waning and black moon and all these other things. But I'm just going to focus on the new moon and the full moon for right now. So new moon is when the moon and the sun are conjunct each other. And so they basically, if you were to look up in the sky, they were sitting on top of each other. And so a new moon is a time to set intentions. It's a time to say, okay, I'm going to wipe the slate clean. I want to start over. I want to redo. Or maybe not even a redo. Maybe just, I want to try something new now. And so it's almost like New Year's, right? So everybody, not everyone, but a lot of people wait until New Year's and they say, okay, in this new year, I'm going to do this. And then by February or March, they've fallen off the wagon, right? Not you, of course, but some people. So with the moon, when we follow the new moon, we have this opportunity 13 times a year to set intentions and to say, oh, the new moon is sitting here. I'm going to focus my intentions on this. And the new moon, generally speaking, has certain aspects to it without all the planetary influence and without even looking at the houses where it's sitting. And so for the sake of this video, let's just say every time the moon is new, sitting in a zodiac sign, you have an opportunity to start over. And we set intentions. And we want our intentions to be clear. We want them to be concise. We want them to be specific. And we want them to come from a place of I am. Not during this new moon cycle, I will, or I will try. It's my new moon intention is yada, yada, yada. In this new moon Cancer, I am blah, blah, blah. So we want to be very clear and specific. And according to Mayan tradition, new moon is a time to go in. It's a time to go inward. It's a time to write our intentions down, sit in a quiet space, sit at our altar, light a candle, create ritual that allows us to connect deeper into source, into the divine. Now, the full moon is a little different. Full moon is when the moon is opposite the sun, okay? And so the moon is huge, and we can see it, and we can feel it, and it intensifies everything. So it intensifies all of our emotions. If we're really happy, we're like really, really happy. If we're sad or upset or angry, it has the possibility to increase that. And so what we want to do ideally is to take the time at the full moon to be aware of our emotions and to know what we're feeling and to celebrate what we're feeling, regardless of what it is, to recognize what it is. And if it's supportive energy, then we continue to do it. If it's unsupportive energy, and that doesn't mean happy or sad or angry or happy or anything like that, it just means if it's supporting our being, then we want to be able to continue that. So at a full moon, we can celebrate. So full moon is a time to go a little outward, to join in circle, to sit and state maybe what it is that you want to release that's unsupportive, or what you want to celebrate. Maybe there's something that you have really been working on and you've noticed it. It's a time to burn away old paradigms, old thoughts, old patterns. So it's more of an outward expression of our energy. We really want to take the time too to remember during these 2 lunar cycles that the new moon doesn't just happen at a certain time and then that's it. And the same thing with the full moon. So the full moon or the new moon are at their peak at a certain time, right? And at that time, it's not like if you miss it or you're at work or you're in a meeting that now you've missed your chance. The energy is palpable anytime, a few days before, a few days after is the peak time. But be kind with yourself and recognize that if you begin these rituals, if you begin some rituals at the new moon or the full moon, it'll become habit and you'll work it into your energy when you have the time. My invitation to you, if you're going to start ritual, is to build an altar, which we'll do in the next video, and also get yourself a nice journal. So get yourself a nice journal that you're going to look at all the time, and you're going to go, this is where I'm going to write my new moon intentions, and maybe you can track it. You start it at the new moon cycle, and you can track it throughout the year. That's what I've been doing for a long time, and it's really helpful to see where I've fallen off track and where I've continued to practice. The other thing you'll want to do is energetic hygiene. So we're going to do that in another video as well, and just checking in with that. And then in a subsequent video, I'll also talk a little bit about different tools you can use to amplify the energy, but not necessary. So the moon's going to pulse and move, and the sun's going to rise, and all of that without any tools. So you can just show up. So that's the end of this video. I hope this is helpful for you. Please reach out with any questions or comments or anything at all. Always available. My email is dana@danademara.com, and super excited. Happy to work with you, and yeah, get out there and check out the moon. Namaste.